Hi there! In this video, I will show you 3 simple ways to finish the back side of your embroidered hoop. Let's dive right into it. The first method to finish your hoop is the simplest of all. This is a quick and easy method. Ensure that your hoop is centralized and stretched and tightened satisfactorily. Begin by cutting out the outer side of the fabric with good enough margin from the hoop. Now, if you are working on a 4-inch hoop, a margin of 1.5 to 2 inches will be good. If it is an 8-inch hoop, a margin of 3.5 inches will ensure a complete coverage. Cut out in a circle, keeping the shape of the hoop. Once that is done, reverse your hoop. Thread your needle with a regular sewing thread or a single layer of the embroidery floss. Start stitching long running stitches on the edge of the fabric. Make sure the thread is long enough to go around the entire circle. Finishing an embroidery hoop is important if you're planning to keep the embroidery piece in the hoop and use it as a decoration to hang or gift. Once you reach the starting point, pull the thread to gather the fabric to the center. Do this slowly. My video is slightly sped up. You can secure it by making a few anchor stitches and knotting it. You see, the gathered fabric covers almost the entire back side after being gathered. This is because my hoop is 4 inches and I had left 2 inches margin of the outer fabric. If you are using a bigger hoop, the entire area will not get covered and the back side of the embroidery will show. That is it. The hoop is done and ready to be used. Now, if you want the backside of the embroidery to be covered, there is a trick. For that, remove the embroidered piece out of the hoop. If required, iron and straighten it. Now, lay it with the good side down. Take another fabric, preferably cotton and plain. Using a color that coordinates with the embroidery will be great. I'm using a white fabric for the video. Lay the fabric over the embroidered piece. If required, you may use pins on the edges to hold them together. Now flip them back together and mount it on the embroidery hoop. Next, cut the outer edge to clean up the sides. Leave a margin of at least 1.5 inch from the hoop. Use a regular sewing thread to stitch on the edges all around. Pass through both the fabrics. When you reach the starting point, pull the thread gently to gather the fabric to the center. Secure it by making a few anchor stitches. You will see that even though the gathered fabric is not covering the backside, it is still neat. Sometimes the gathered fabric can cause a bulge, and in turn, the hoop will not lay flat on the surface. One way to deal with this is to use a sturdy fabric, preferably a felt cloth, to cover the backside completely. This gives a great finish to the entire hoop. Begin by cutting the outer fabric with a margin of at least 1.5 inch from the hoop. Now flip the hoop and start stitching running stitches around the edge. When you reach the starting point, pull the thread to gather the fabric to the center. You will find the basics of hand embroidery along with the tutorials to more than 300 stitches in our hand embroidery ebook. The link to check out and buy the book is in the description. Please don't forget to check. Secure it by making a few anchor stitches and knotting it off. Now take a felt fabric, place the inside ring of the same sized hoop on it and mark it from the outside. Do not try to use the outer hoop as it might not measure properly. Now, if you have only one hoop of this size, I would suggest you use it to mark the felt fabric before you use it to work your embroidery. After marking the felt, cut it out. Place this felt on the back side of the hoop to be finished. Now, take a strand of regular sewing thread and begin stitching from the inside. Now you would stitch the fabric and the felt together. Keep making these stitches close to each other for a tight finish. I keep stitching around the entire hoop and knot it off when I reach the end. Okay, sorry, I had not realized that my camera had stopped rolling midway, but I'm sure you understood what to do. Here is the finished hoop laying flat on the surface. I hope you liked this video and found it informative. Please let me know by liking, sharing, and commenting. Thank you so much for watching.